How you doing?
How you doing?
Pretty good. Hopefully the battery lasts.
Really?
The battery's like I got it plugged in, but the battery's dropped from I had 100, now it's already down to 90, and I just set it a couple minutes ago.
I have my speaker there. There's two outlets on it. You
Yeah.
can put it. You can use it for you.
Yeah.
There's too many charge on it too. There in front.
Okay.
When you go to front.
Okay. It's up there in front. So
Yeah. There's the speaker. There's two outlets there. You can use one of them.
well, luckily, yeah, but just this, yeah,
Now it's live, isn't it?
it's live, yeah, it's live. Two different sites it's supposed to be. So let's see.
Yeah. Very nice.
Only during college. I said she can have it now. When you start. Because you're in college, you know. Oh, I am. So I don't want you on Snapchat. Okay, yeah. I don't want to say it. Right? I don't want to know what's going on. I don't want you on Snapchat. So are you guys on Snapchat? That one. Yeah. Oh, she was. Yeah, I know it. Yeah. Yeah. This is my daughter. Yeah, this is my husband, Kate. She's peeking now. Now she's peeking.
I was just thinking, you think the camera should be over there?
I'll get closer. I just want to cross post it.
Before we start, it'd be great if you can take the picture from there. You want me to help you with this?
Yeah, just take this. Yeah, pick that up from there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm going to set it over here.
Thanks.
You guys ready? John, you're on? تتكلم رنوولي مارنته ونخميته والصلاة خلعا عني ده
الأمر يا زينة
طريق عود الموت لا شهدة طالب شهدة والدنيا وتنسمت غيدة قد لايته ومن أقرأ أشاش بين فنودنا
وين رحمن
برادنا نخم عني دين ووش النوم شوخ ملكوتا من غير فرقورشت ألكم طورقي من نوشتا خير ورادا نخمل روما
نسات بخدوسا
شيخا ملكا دانخم روما ما خميثا وقم
لقويرين
نطلب خشوقا لطريسة شم شاحتا دانغ لطويرة من قوريهم نوضن لمشيخا
وعدم العالم
لم صويانا دبرا فردانا براخمك أخان لكم عودي اتبناني وراخماني خون وخان واشوق لي خوبين دزتنا يوم دميثيثا
دوري عمر رواني
ميثقائن دشق مضيري قايم مشوخا كلون
عني ذي
بارق المريم خزوة بريخ طامل خاسد عني ذي كمرت موت قطولا
دن خاون جباروثه
راي لازار وقم من قورة وافلق قاري وقم لغمي شو خلا ولورا وروخ قدشا شو خلا وطودي ثانورا والرق قدشا دو يوم نخمنا
من عالم وعدم العالم علم وامين
لا تجبقتا إيشو باروقا موتا بيدك خيب صياناك Your mercies will stand on my Lord before us face to face, and your grace will forgive our sins, and the mother mercies for your glorified Trinity will come to the aid of your worshippers, for you are the Lord of the two worlds, which you have created, O Lord of all life and death, Father and Son and Holy Spirit, forever. Amen. Amen. Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in singing the Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars were the perilous fight? For the ramparts they won were so gladly streaming, and the rockets Joe Darnell.
Yep. Everybody, thank you, Joe, very much. Get something to say from Dan here, real quick. Everybody knows Dan Mushel?
All right. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome our new treasurer. I'm sorry. We'd like to welcome Ruth Hopkins as our new treasurer. With that, fair giveaway. Stand up, everybody. Ruth Hopkins, everybody. She's an active member of the Assyrian community and happily married to John Hopkins for 39 years. Where is John? John over here. They've been blessed with 2 children, Jake and Shelby, both getting married this year. Congratulations. Ruth is following in her father's footsteps. Jake Elias, well, he was the treasurer of the Assyrian cemetery for 15 years. And Ruth has over 30 years of bank management with open arms.
There's probably faces and people we haven't seen in a while, and Peter for every year since probably before you were born, is my guess. And we have Gasha Amir Breka, and we have Deacon Rule David. Everybody knows these gentlemen. We love them very much dearly. Thank you very much for being here with the Assyrian Church of the East. And I think your family is here too, your mother and father?
My man, yeah. Thank you very much for being here.
So today, Memorial Day. We all know what Memorial Day is for. Some people think, when I talk to them through the last week or last month or so, their plan is going to barbecue and have everybody out. And that's beautiful. That's what it means to them. It means something to everybody. And what it was for was, back in the Civil War days, Memorial Day was to remember the fallen soldiers. And we paid respect to that typically in the month of May all the way up until, I think, 1968. President Lyndon Johnson actually declared it as Memorial Day with an official government holiday. But we have a monument that we have here. Looks like it was built in September of 1936, founded by the zeal of the Assyrian National Union of Flint, September 16th, 1936, dedicated to the loving memory of all that fell by the roadside and by the persecutions in Asia during the World War 1914 through 1933. May their souls rest in peace. That's a memory. That's a memorial. It's meant to honor and to remember. Also, more recently, our flag, when it went up to full staff, and then we brought it down, that's how you raise a flag on Memorial Day for the people that have given their lives. At exactly noon sharp, we're supposed to take that flag to full staff and celebrating and remembering and paying homage and respect to our veterans that are still alive. And then it comes down again at sunset. That's proper flag etiquette on Memorial Day. That's what a lot of research people could look up and get some details, but that's what we do. Meant to honor and remember. We have a cemetery full of people, and we have some children that aren't born yet. We have little ones, we have big ones, and they've moved all over the country, some to different countries. And they're still close with us, and a lot of them know that we are all here doing this in memory. And because they're not here doesn't mean that they don't remember it and respect it also. But the men and the women that ultimately gave their sacrifice of their life for us as Memorial Day, and we extend this with all memory to them also for our freedom. And as the people that are having barbecues today, and people that are having fun at the lake today, and people that are doing the different things today, freely, with all due respect, this is Memorial Day for them also. It's Memorial Day for every single person. That's what our veterans did. They fought for freedom. And I never want to forget that. And I'm very appreciative. Today we're going to have a little bit of interaction with our group after we hear from Kasha Emirbricha. We're going to have Drake Mushel reading through. We're going to stop and start on through as he's reading the names of the veterans here. It's not just people that have died fighting for freedom. It's all of our veterans. And because we're not there, we're not at that moment when either they died on the spot or a piece of them died when somebody with them, or as they got old and served and did their time. They're our veterans, and we love them and honor them also. But at this point, I'd like to, of course, welcome a wonderful man, Reverend Kasha Emirbricha.
In the name of the Father, and Son, and Holy Spirit, forever. Amen. Good morning, my brother and sister. And faith, peace, our Lord Jesus Christ be with you all. Thank you for having me to join you today during this Memorial Day ceremony, remembrance at this cemetery, Assyrian cemetery in Flint, Michigan, on a beautiful day. The Memorial Day is about taking the time to honor America's fallen heroes, which is a time to honor all those who have served in the military in a time of war or peace. It's simply to acknowledge the men and women who give the ultimate sacrifice while defending their country. We do these things to honor the loyalty and bravery of our fallen in this noble calling, military service. And I believe mothers and wives, husbands and fathers, extended family and friends do their duty every day to ensure their loved one is remembered. They carry on each day with pictures on mantle and mementos of a life not fully lived. They carry on understanding that their soldier chose this life to serve, and thus they understood the potentiality of their death as a sacrifice for the sake of freedom. That's how the freedom is. We hear from Ronald Reagan, the fourth president of the United States, when he says, "Their lives remind us that freedom is not bought cheaply. It has a cost. It imposes a burden. Yet we must try to honor them not for their sakes only, but for our own too." I believe one day is not enough to honor these men and women. So it's on this day of remembrance and respect we must ask this question: what do we owe these brave? How do we repay their eternal debt? We owe them this day, of course, but we must honor them every day by using the gifts they have given us to create a better world, more robust nation, and kinder community. We can exercise our freedoms with great care for one another and for our children's future. We can responsibly take advantage of the many opportunities this land gives us. We can use our talents and benefits of our fortune and the love in our hearts to enrich the lives of those around us. May God hold them and their families in the palm of His hand. May His grace shower all of us, and may He continue to bless the United States of America. and all those in serve to her. God bless you all, and thank you all for this beautiful day. And I would love to thank Jim for inviting me again, and thank my brother Shamasha Hua for his service for us. God bless you all, and bless America. Thank you. Thank you, Kasha. And I'd like to make a warm welcome for Drake Mushel. Drake is going to read the. Drake's going to read down our list of names we have in addition to our list this year, and I guess sadly and proudly. So while Drake is reading, we're going to pause with a little bit of reflection and memory that I have of just a couple different individuals. And as we're reading the names, if somebody has a memory of somebody real quick in a sentence or two as we're reading the name, raise your hand. I'd like to hear it. Because if you don't, that's kind of a sad moment when we don't remember these things anymore. It's nice to share these memories on Memorial Day. So as we're going along here, we're going to read, and I'll stop Jake as I'm going, and as somebody else raise their hand if something warm comes to heart with our veterans.
All right, hello everyone. My name recognition. Benjamin Abraham. Jesse Abraham.
Hold on a minute, Jesse Abraham. Who didn't know Jesse? Everybody knew Jesse. Everybody loved Jesse. Jesse was absolutely wonderful, beautiful. We love Jesse here. A whole bunch of them like this. I love Jesse. I'll never forget his smile, his hellos, big hands. Tall, big hands. Yeah. Yep.
Sam Bedell.
Didn't they have Bedell's Meat Market?
Yep.
Okay, anybody ever buy meat there? How many years for Assyrian picnics did we buy our meat from him?
Oh, many years. Many.
Did he give us a good price?
At least 20.
The best meat? Right.
That's why he went back all the time.
Samuel Bedell. John Benjamin. John Benjamin Jr. Donald Boyd. Larry Brooks.
Larry Brooks. Martha's husband?
Yeah.
Larry and Martha had big, big, big hearts. They always made sure that needs were met and that things were taken care of in a high, top fashion. And you could always depend on standing back and say, wow, every time they showed up for something. It was really cool. They had a big heart, really big heart.
Frank Carey.
Wait a minute. Who doesn't know Frank and Susie? Susie Carey was the secretary for this establishment for many, many, many years. Frank Carey was actually a World War II fighter pilot with the Black Sheep. And he made run after run and sacrificing after sacrifice. He said they were a bunch of arrogant you-know-whats. I can't say it in the same.
Not today.
No.
Here.
But,
Not my contact.
no, not at all. They were very arrogant, but they did their job also. And I hope somebody's remembering them today also. Frank worked with us and was a family friend of my mom and dad's and was a mentor and a buddy of mine as I was growing up. Frank was beautiful, big-hearted guy, Genesee County Sheriff, I believe. You guys remember Frank? Great.
Sam Daniel.
Played Santa Claus. Where's he at? Right here. Sarah's husband, right? Yeah. Sam Daniel would dress up as Santa Claus, but Sam Daniel was also a veteran. Sam Daniel was a wonderful guy, always laughing about something.
Silas DiColeta.
Yes. That's my dad.
Yeah.
He was a good man. Owned Deeks Concrete. He did some stuff here, and
Yep.
he was a good, proud American.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Where did he serve? Do you remember where he served?
Where did he serve?
Vietnam,
Germany, I know that.
Korea, Germany.
Yeah. I think he did both. Yeah, both.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Mile Dimich. Mike Dimich.
Mike Dimich.
Nathaniel Ishu.
He's the dad of Daniil. Daniil
Jacob Elia.
You guys, what do you have to say about Jake? Where did he serve?
Where do I start?
Korea. He was a Korean War veteran. Jake was a wonderful man. He was the treasurer for here for many years. Treasurer for here for many years, and a treasurer. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful man. Lived in the east side over there, from Court area, and the neighborhood with everybody else. Yep.
William Elia.
Brothers.
Yes.
They're brothers. Was he? The city, Flint. City of Flint policeman.
Josh Asa. Samuel Asa Sr. Samuel Asa Jr. Edward Fry.
That was Daniil's husband.
Our treasurer for the cemetery. Daniil's husband.
Daniil was the treasurer for here for many years, and Edward is down here on the right-hand side, just past the pine tree down here, and Daniil loved him dearly, still does.
James George.
Jim George, beautiful man. Good heart. Jungle Jim. I don't know how I got that name.
I know, that's how I remember it.
I don't know how we got that name.
He didn't complain about it though either.
No, he didn't.
Basil J. Hanna.
You guys remember Basil?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He
The
used
TV
to
store
do
and electronics. What?
Pictures and stuff.
Yeah, he did a lot of the camera, video, picture, television. I don't even call it video back then. It was did a lot with the imagery and television and communications equipment. He had a store. What was the name of his store? What was the name of his Basil TV store? I don't know. Anyhow, he did a lot of that.
George Isaac. Samuel Isaac. Solomon Isaac. Joseph Israel. Samuel Jacob. Joel Johan. Benjamin Joseph.
Anybody remember that guy? That was my grandfather, my dad's dad. And very gentle man, traveling salesman. They had dime stores around town and a garment factory. He did. And my dad would say he would wreck a vehicle every other year, pull one out on the road. He drove like a madman to try to get his goods out different places. Anyway, wonderful, peaceful man.
Edward Joseph. Joseph Joseph. Paul Joseph. Simon Joseph, Robert Joseph,
Anybody remember that guy? He was a good guy. He was my best friend. He and my Uncle William, they lived in Wishing Well forever and ever. One street over is Upsilon Trail. That's where I was born to. And he said he just wanted to be close to all this, is what he said. We'd worked for this our whole lives. But, you guys knew my dad. I guess he loved hugs. He loved people. Loved to help. Loved to give. That's why probably Jim George and Frank Carey and some of the others, they all just naturally found each other.
William Joseph,
Every day he walked by. He walked every day. And he would, if my husband left the tool out, or if there was a car that needed, the tire was low or whatever, he'd be on the phone. You know, you got a low tire. You know, you got to do that. So, yeah, him and Irma were great. Great friends.
Yeah. Yep.
William Koshaba, Joseph Kovacs, Jacob Lazar,
Brother, where did he serve? Do you remember where he served? Korean War? World War II? Wow.
Saul Lazar, Daniel Lazar Jr.,
What do you remember about Daniel?
Remember he had jukeboxes?
What's that? What?
Jukeboxes.
He was into that stuff?
Yeah, he put them in at the A&W, some other restaurants.
David J. Lazar,
He was the past president for many years of the and Shamash.
So I think he and Jesse played a little bit of games.
Yes.
With
What
me.
kind of games are you talking about?
They had a couple of things going on back here.
Tell me about that.
I know. But those two had little shenanigans. We had to straighten out some things. They had a lot of fun with each other. They loved each other dearly.
Now?
They loved each other dearly. And they were best friends. They were babies all the way up.
Yep.
Yep. So anyway, inspiring. Worked with Fenton schools.
Right.
How much time did he give? His whole life.
He could have gone to the state finals. He won the state finals for softball team. And he could have gone, but Fred was going to say, why don't you go to the university? He liked it. They loved him. He liked it.
He loved the kids.
Yeah.
And he loved people. And, for years and years and years, he was just.
They would come back and visit him years after they had graduated.
Yeah. Just a giving guy, servant to the people and giving. Just a beautiful soul, beautiful man.
Daniel still asks for it. I thought Daniel still asks for it.
Yeah. We all do in our hearts. We all do in our hearts.
Julius Lazar,
Great guy. That's right.
Joseph Mihailoff, George Moorhatch,
What can you tell us about George?
He was the president of the
I think of everything at one point.
for years. So that's pretty bad when I know him because I've been
was a young guy in my teens and early teens, my dad had sent me out here with machinery and equipment and different stuff. Meet George. What are we doing? I don't know. He wants to do some stuff out there. What's he doing? I don't know. Just do whatever he says. But we'd pull trees and we'd do this and replacing sections of fence and all sorts of things. And I guess he's kind of a inspiration and an energy source that was just he's always busy doing something. Yep. He loved doing things. George was beautiful.
Robert Mushel.
Good guy. He would do anything for anybody. He'd always want to help people.
My godparent, we always go over there and play on the front lawn all the time we were growing up, and he's gone way too much. He was great.
I got one thing.
Yeah.
I was walking by your dad's house, and he said, "Don't you ever walk by my house without coming into this house."
Don't stop. Sounds right.
George Ohanis. John Ohanis. Alvin Picnic.
Marcia,
My uncle.
got to speak up because we all
My
love
uncle used to lift weights. He's a pretty strong guy.
He was a mountain of a man.
He was, but gentle, like a gentle
Yep.
lion. Yes.
Yep. Yep. Mountain of a man, a beautiful heart.
David Rager. Robert Sargis. Andrew Syed. Frank Syed. David A. Sharina. Matthew Sharina. Paul Simon. Jack Simon. Daniel Solomon. Jack Solomon.
Guys, notice how silent it is? Next year it's going to be a little bit more silent, maybe by one. And then the year after that, a little more silent. And the year after that, a little bit more silent. But these names are going to live forever. We'll be here. We'll be in different places. Different people have different arrangements. But as we remember and as we gather here, this list will be here. This list will be longer. And we'll be gone. And these names will still be read. And they'll live again in our memories. So pass on the memories is good. And to remember the sacrifice and the respect is due is good.
James Solomon.
I have a story about my uncle. My dad and my uncle were in business for 42 years together, but when Uncle Jimmy came back during World War II from the South Pacific, he had lost a lot of weight. And the family was very concerned. My grandmother, my mother, my dad went to his mother and he said, "Mom, he can't lose this amount of weight and get better." And she said, "Don't worry." She said, "I know what I'm doing." She said, "I'll make Doma, Kuddish, and in 3 months he'll be back to normal." It worked.
Peter Solomon. Philip Solomon. Ross Solomon. Sam Solomon. Walter Solomon. David Sweeney. Carl Thomas.
Where's Carl Thomas's family. Carl Thomas was recently buried a month ago, month and a half, month ago, and he's a veteran, and his family plot and gravestead is down on the right-hand side, and he was preceded by Carl Thomas Jr. Is that right? Yes.
His father was Shamasha.
His father was Shamasha. This is his wife over here. And my deepest condolences.
Carl Thomas Jr., John Thomas.
Well, everybody's hand should go up. I'm sorry.
I would like to say a story that Dad told me about when he was in the war. And he said, I said, Dad, why don't you like chicken? I'm not eating that chicken. No way. I said, well, why aren't you eating it? He said that when he was on the ship being sent over, he said that they didn't have all the food that would feed everybody, so they didn't let nothing go to waste. He said that they turned around and washed the maggots off of chickens and cook it up for the soldiers and that. That's how scarce food was. And so all these veterans that went over there, my own father was telling me about how in the winter when they were in war, they would take newspapers and stuff them in their clothes and in their shirts and in their pant legs so it'd be insulation to keep them warm during the winter and while being in the pits hiding. And he said the number of times he got bit by the German shepherds that they sent out to attack the soldiers. And my dad hated dogs ever since. But he said that number of times he would wake up having dreams over and over again about the wars. So yes, we have great memories of these people here, but we have to remember what they went through as well. So if you got those stories of what they went through, tell them to everybody to let them know the importance of what our vets went through. There's a lot of soldiers coming home with missing arms and legs. And like I said, it's a privilege to live under that flag. And it's because of our vets.
John Thomas, everybody's hand should have went up to him. I mean, I know he's one of the, there's a lot of beautiful people. But 1969 when we moved from right over here into Grand Blanc, John Thomas was there painting with Mark and maybe another person our brand new house. And I said to my mom and dad, "Why is Uncle John painting?" He said, "That's what he does." I said, "I didn't know that. I thought he was just, everybody loved him. I thought that's what he did for a living." He was a hug. Yeah, he was a hugger. And big wet kisser. Big wet kisser. Inside your face. He didn't care. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Tony Erlad, Robert Walker,
Married to Julia. Robert, Lisa.
Isaac Warda,
Wasn't he television too?
Was he? Was Isaac Ward at television?
No? Oh, his son.
Photographer?
Lawrence Wilbur, Samuel Yalda,
What can you tell us?
Robert joined the Navy before the war started. He was in after the war, he would tell us about being on a destroyer that got hit, but mostly he would say, I was on a tugboat in the Caribbean. After he died, we went to get the veterans plaque and they said, do you want his medals?
What?
And we said, what medals? And he had ribbons and medals from being in the Pacific, in Korea. It was a stunning realization. He never talked about the war, and I think that was true of a lot of veterans. They gave so much and kept it all in. And I think because of that, he lived his life of service. He was, always helping someone and always appreciating life with a joke. He had the original dad joke.
Michael Yonan.
Glove boxer, one of my uncles. Rough and tough, walked everywhere his whole life. That's probably why he lived longer.
Michael Yonan.
A cousin, more like older brother. Lived with us for some of the time, and I just remember coming back to the we loved him. Him and his brother come back or whatever, And he didn't talk about always smiled, smile, smile, smile. One story, he worked in the shop and he had a friend, Glenn Hyman, who was really tall and big, and my dad's Assyrian short. I went to school with Lindy Hyman, Glenn's daughter, and she would say, would you tell your dad to quit agreeing with my dad all the time? And I told my dad, he said, no, I looked up to Glenn like this and go, huh? Yeah, she shouldn't go that damn. No, sure, Glenn, sure. He never disagreed with him, but he said, that guy's a lot bigger than I am.
Samuel Yonan.
Yes, tell him. Combat medic.
And Ashaya Zaya. Thank you, everyone. Very nice stories.
Just a little, something a little bit different that we could actually hear. Maybe the next year after this, somebody's going to remember a little something else, and the year after that. But one by one, as the memories go, as we go, so do the memories. And we're trying to do something to slow that down or stop that. And maybe in the next year or two, we'll have it all figured out, but we're trying to do something right now. So this is a start for that kind of thing, refreshing memories, refreshing thoughts, sharing things with people. Let's talk with each other about your loved ones. It's a beautiful thing. At this time, we'd like to have Deacon Raul David.
ريشم شيخا فردا تشكعنا لبا خشعنا ينسانا عطرنا ريشم فروقا جانوب بخوات يا لدنا شوتو خشا قبل بيت كاسا مريرا موتا شتيوين إيمين بقيمتا فاتانا منبوين.
Yo, Darnell.
Please join me in God Bless America, and I hope I start it low enough. God bless America, one that might walk, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Joe. You guys have just a second here. We've got a couple things to go over. Some update and some cemetery business. Of course, since its beginning in the early 1930s, the Assyrian cemetery has strived to create one of the most beautiful cemeteries we can in this country. We pride ourselves in the care and maintenance of the cemetery. When one purchases grave spaces, a portion of the cost along your annual assessment goes into an endowment fund for care and maintenance of the cemetery and into the future. We also have what's called a perpetual fund. Ruth, can you raise your hand or stand up again? Either one of the two? She's raising her hand. Thank you for standing there. Anyhow, anybody has any questions regarding who to pay, how to pay, it's in the back page of this pamphlet that we have to hand out. Completed cemetery projects, among the many different things that we've done. Tree removal to maintain preservation integrity of our grave monuments and markers, $7,200. Completed with funds from an anonymous donation. Halfway down here on the right, there was an overbearing and threatening maple tree that was huge. And one drop of one of the limbs would have wiped out half a dozen to a dozen stones, grave markers, and just been very costly. So we removed that. We have a couple more that are in the midst of, at the end of their life, these big old pine trees here. We're going to have to take these out also. Grounds improvements to Branch Road Cemetery entrance area. We had some help with landscaping, getting this area in the front building and the monument area and all this cleaned up and straightened up. It wasn't too awful bad, but that was one of our smaller projects last year. And then we had repairs to our Plainfield Road side gate over here. Had a welder come in and we had to wrestle some iron for a while and look like manly men and that kind of thing. Anyhow, we fixed it. One of the crews that does the burials clipped the metal gates with one of their trailers as they're hauling equipment out, and then they just set it back in place. And we had to come back and realign and reset and weld and all that kind of thing. That being said, we have 3 projects that we are looking to take care of this year. They're kind of costly, and maybe we can get the prices down on some or some contributions on these. One of them is an administrative improvement for purchase of cemetery operation software. We have to be really careful with this because if it goes into the wrong venue or hands or, I guess, format, that information gets harvested and exposed to the world. And we really don't want that to happen, but they will have, we have to have our records kept up somehow, because if something happens, if a traumatic event were to happen, or something gets wet or something, then we lose all the records that we have. So that's a $3,500 program there. Wrought iron fencing. The fence section up here, we've got the curved section here on the left-hand side. Was damaged at one time, and that's hollow metal. It's not solid metal like the rest of the fencing is, and that's rusted through and needs to be replaced. That's about a $4,000 cost because it's got a curve. It's called what's called radius, and it's got a curved section in it. And we'd like to get that done this year. And then we have the installation of trees and the removal of trees. We've got 3 pine trees that need to come out over here, and 15 trees we'd like to put down this side that are small growing trees, something along the line of a landscaping pear that doesn't bear fruit, or a crabapple tree, or a crab and a pear and a crab and a pear. But something that'll be smaller but not small, and won't grow more than probably 12 foot tall, tops 12 to 15 foot tall, without getting real big with a root ball that would hinder things. So that's up to, I think I can get it, we can get it done cheaper than $7,500, but we have a $7,500 limit on an estimate for that. And with any luck, we could get it for $4,000 to $6,000, pending the cost of the trees that are coming out. So we've got some projects we need to do, and do we want to wait till next year? Not really. Might we have to? We might have to. Is that okay? That's all right. But if these are the things we'd like to get done, you know. So other than that, Dan and Leanne, where are you guys at? I'm calling you out big time.
Leanne.
Where's Leanne? Can you guys find each other real quick, just for a second? I just really want to thank you two a lot, way more than anybody can say, for just being here and helping and doing and overseeing. You guys are beautiful, man, and you work yourselves. It shows what you've done. It shows what you've done. They really put a lot of heart into it. And Kasha, I want to thank you very much. Deacon Rule, thank you very much for your love and your care. You guys all really, really care for people a lot. All of you. Thank you guys so much. Anyhow, now it's barbecue time. It's almost ready. Because that's what everybody that gave today, they gave it for freedom for us. And we have that freedom. Thank you for this. Thank you for 2023 Memorial Day services. You guys have a beautiful, safe day. Hang on, one more last thing here. Assyrian American Club of Flint. Can everybody hear me okay? Annual scholarship picnic, July 23rd at the Genesee Lions Club Pavilion. Everybody also please see Marcia Darnell for updating addresses so that she can get everybody in an updated information bank so that everybody can get the mailers that go out accordingly. Marcia Darnell, Marcia, over that, we call that the Marcia tent over there. And we have donuts and coffee. We have plenty of donuts. Please take some donuts home, everybody.
And water, too.
And water.
Cold water.
Cold water. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank
Thank you. You're welcome. Yep.
We're going to take this up to the top.
That's why I'm just running. I just let it run. So.
I don't know.
Thank you for your time. We have a time. We have a little time. Thank you.
Shot coffee.
No, profi, significa, não,